Hello everyone, my name is Sailesh Fernandez and I'm the Academic Director of Fortune IAS Academy. I'm here now to give you a timeline on how medieval Indian history worked, especially the Islamic history with the advent of the Turks into India and conquering of India and so on. And we would go on till the end of later Mughals with the revolt of 1857 and with the deportation of Bahadur Shah Zafar from India by the British. So let's start. Most important timeline would be, or times would be 1191 and 1192, because these were the 2 years when the two battles of terrains happened between Muhammad Ghori, who was a Turk from Ghur, and Prithviraj Chauhan, who was the Chauhan king of Ajmer, who was eyeing to get entire North India, especially Delhi. So in 1191, Ghori is defeated by Prithviraj Chauhan, but the very next year, Prithviraj Chauhan would be defeated by Muhammad Ghori and he would lay the foundations of what would be eventually called Delhi Sultanate. As I told you, Ghori led the foundations, but he did not rule. He did not stay back in India to rule his possessions in India. He went back to Ghur, handing over Indian possessions to his one of beloved slaves, that is Qutbuddin Aibak. He would rule Indian possessions of Ghori till 1206 as a vassal, as a slave of Ghori, or in the name of Muhammad Ghori. But in 1206, Muhammad Ghori would be killed and the Indian possessions of Ghori would be ruled by Qutbuddin Aibak in his own name and his dynasty. So with his rule officially coming or officially beginning in 1206, the slave dynasty starts in India. It's also called the slave dynasty, the Mamluk dynasty, or the Ilbari dynasty. And you might be obviously knowing why it was called the slave dynasty, because many of this dynasty were slaves of Ghori, that is, be it Iltutmish or Qutbuddin Aibak. So 1206 to 1210 would be the rule of Qutbuddin Aibak, characterized by him being a lakh baksh, or giver of lakhs. His famous construction or starting of the construction of Qutub Minar in the name of Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki. And obviously, one question that was asked before in 2005, Qutbuddin Aibak dies while playing Chaugan. So 1206 to 1210, it was the reign of Qutbuddin Aibak. And I won't be talking about the less important kings of any dynasties. I'll be only concentrating on important kings of important dynasties. So after the death of Aibak, I'll straight away go into 1212. That is when one of the slaves of Qutbuddin Aibak took over the reins as Sultan, and he would be the very important Iltutmish. He's considered to be the real founder of Delhi Sultanate in India, because he protected India essentially from the wrath of the Mongol king Genghis Khan. So his reign would be from 1212 to 1236. In 1236, after some gap, he would be replaced by his beloved daughter Razia Sultana. So from 1236 to 1240, it would be the reign of Razia, who would be killed treacherously by the Chahalgani, that is the corpse of 40 slaves which had been constructed by Iltutmish himself. 1246 to 1266, it would be the reign of one of the sons of Iltutmish, Nasruddin Muhammad. And his naib, his deputy sultan, would be the very strong Balban, who would eventually become the sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. So 1246 to 1266, it would be Nasruddin Muhammad. 1266, after the death of Nasruddin Muhammad, Balban would become the sultan himself, and he would rule till 1287 AD. In 1287 AD, or after his death, he would be succeeded by two very inexperienced young sultans, Kaikubad and Kayumaz. But this would happen only till 1290, when the Ilbari dynasty, the slave dynasty, is replaced by another dynasty by Ghiyasuddin Khilji, and that is the Khilji dynasty. So from 1206 to 1290, it would be the Ilbari, the slave dynasty, and in 1290, the dynasty would be replaced by the Khilji dynasty by Jalaluddin Khilji, who was a warden of marches. In 1290, or from 1290 to 1296, it would be his reign within the Khilji dynasty. And in 1296, the very famous, the very iconic Alauddin Khilji would become the Sultan after murdering his uncle Jalaluddin Khilji. So from 1296 to 1316, he would be ruling within the Khilji confines. 1316 to, like, for some months it would be Malik Kafur who would replace Alauddin Khilji as a sultan after his death, after the former's death. Malik Kafur would be eventually killed by the Khilji nobles, and he would be replaced by Mubarak Khilji, who was the son of Alauddin Khilji, one of the sons of Alauddin Khilji. Then another revolution would happen, led by Khusrau the Baradu, the Indian Musalman, and eventually in 1320, the Khilji dynasty would also be replaced. And here, the replacement would be by or with the Tughlaq dynasty, founded by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So 1320 to 1325, it will be like the rule of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, who formed the Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, so in 1325, he would die of an accident, a conspiracy. We still don't know. According to certain historians, it was a conspiracy. According to some of them, it was an accident. Whatever. 1325, he would be replaced with his son Fakhruddin Jana Khan, or very infamously called the madman Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So 1325 to 1351, it would be the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq within the confines of the Tughlaq dynasty. 1351, he would be replaced by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and he would rule Hindustan or Sultanate till 1388. After that, there were no much of important sultans belonging to the Tughlaq dynasty, with the exception of Nasruddin Muhammad, another Nasruddin Muhammad, and it was during his reign that Taimur the Lane invaded India. The Tughlaq dynasty would eventually come to an end in 1414, with Khizr Khan replacing the Tughlaq dynasty with the Sayyid dynasty. And the Sayyid dynasty would continue till 1451. In 1451, the Sayyid dynasty would be replaced by the Lodi dynasty, with Bahlo Lodi becoming the first Lodi Sultan of India. He would be the longest reigning Delhi Sultan of all time, from 1451 to 1489. That is 1 year more than Firoz Shah Tughlaq, or how much Firoz Shah Tughlaq ruled the Delhi Sultanate. In 1489, he would be replaced by his son Sikandar Lodi, the most competent of the Lodi Sultans, and he would rule till 1517. In 1517, Sikandar Lodi, who definitely made Agra his capital, would be replaced by Ibrahim Lodi, and Ibrahim Lodi would rule from 1517 to 1526. A historic year when the Lodi dynasty was not only replaced, but the Delhi Sultanate also comes to an end with the Battle of Panipat and the victory of Babur against Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat. So that would be a year wherein the Delhi Sultanate would be replaced by the Great Mughal Empire. Great Mughal Empire, Babur, the founder of it, would rule for 4 years, 1526 to 1530, and then he would die, and he would be succeeded by his unfortunate, or rather fortunate son, Humayun, who would rule India as Badshah for 10 years, then replaced by Sher Shah Sur. That means the Mughal dynasty would be replaced by the Sur dynasty for some years, that is 15 years. So there would be an Afghan interlude. In 1555, Humayun would come back from Persia, where he was, and he would re-establish the Mughal Empire in India. But he would die of a fatal fall from steps of the library Sher-e-Mandal, and again the Mughal Empire was tottering. In 1556, the very next year, Akbar, the very young son of Humayun, would be facing Hemu the Bakkal, who was the representative or the general of Adil Shah Sur. In the second battle of Panipat, by design, by accident, by fate, Akbar would win, and the Mughal Empire would be firmly established. 1556 to 1605, Akbar would rule India as a Badshah of Hindustan. 1605, Akbar dies, and he is succeeded by his son Jahangir. Salim he was, and he took the title of Jahangir after becoming the Badshah. 1605 to 1627, it would be the reign of the painter king Jahangir. And obviously, the very important person during his reign would be Noor Jahan. 1627, he would be replaced by his son Prince Khurram later on, who took the title of Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan's reign from 1627 to 1658. In 1658, Shah Jahan, he's still alive, but he would be lodged in prison, and his reign, or he would be succeeded by his son Aurangzeb Alamgir. According to some sources, he was a great king, and because he was a great king, I won't be going into the details. And in 1658, Aurangzeb would replace Shah Jahan as a Baksha of Hindustan. 1658 to 1707, it would be the reign of Aurangzeb Alamgir. And with the death of Aurangzeb Alamgir in 1707, the era of the great Mughals will come to an end. The next king who succeeded Aurangzeb the Great or Aurangzeb Alamgir, was that of the reign of his son Bahadur Shah I, also called Shah-e-Bekabur. The next important Mughal Badshah who belonged to the later Mughal phase was Farrukhsiyar, who reigned from 1713 to 1719. 1719, Farrukhsiyar would be replaced by Muhammad Shah, also called very famously or rather infamously called Rangila. Mind you, I'm not going into the less important kings of any dynasties, as I've told before. So coming back to the topic, 1719 to 1748, it would be the reign of Muhammad Shah Rangila. In 1739, it was during his reign that Nadir Shah invaded India. 1748, he would be replaced by Ahmad Shah II, and he would rule India as a Badshah, as a later Mughal Badshah from 1748 to 1754. 1754, he would be succeeded by Alamgir II, who would rule as Badshah till 1759. 1759, it would be the start of the reign of Shah Alam, and he would rule India till 1806. In 1806, he would be replaced by Akbar II, famous because he is the one who gave Ram Mohan Roy the title of Raja, making him Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So he would rule till 1837, and from 1837, it would be the reign of Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was overthrown by the British after the revolt of 1857, was deported to Rangoon, and who died in Rangoon in 1862. So that would be the timeline right from 1191, that is the first battle of Terain, to 1857, that is till the end of the Mughal rule. So that was a timeline, and I hope I could give you a timeline into which you could place your facts and your concepts. And we'd be meeting very shortly with the next video. Till then, thank you very much, and bye-bye.